In today's video, I'm going to give you the fast track on how to play the ukulele with a couple of different strum patterns and some basic chords. Now let's go inside so we can avoid some of this wind and noise from the outside. Alright, here's your ukulele. We've got our strings, G, C, E, A from top to bottom. You can use a tuner to tune them, or let me show you Guitar Tuna. It's a free app. And up on the top left, if it doesn't already have it set for a ukulele, you can click on there and pick the ukulele. So hitting the G string, looks like we're in tune. C, looks good. E, and A. Alright, they're all within range. If they weren't, you could use the pegs on the end of your ukulele to tune up or down. In this tutorial, we're going to go over the strumming patterns. I'll do 2 different kinds for a beginner, 2 for intermediate, and 2 for advanced. And at the end, we'll go over 3 additional chords. We're going to use the C chord to go through all of the different strumming patterns just to make it easier and not switch it up on you. So, on the neck of your ukulele, you have these sections called frets. Okay, we're going to start with the C chord, which is the bottom string. That'd be the A string. And on the 3rd fret, we're going to use our 3rd finger. Now you don't have to use your 3rd finger. If you're just starting out, you can use your middle or your 1st finger, whatever is best for you, or you can switch them out if they get tired. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use my ring finger on the 3rd fret on the A string, and we're going to start by learning how to strum. You may want to start with your thumb, or if you're ready, you can use your finger. I personally use my finger to do the strumming. Thumb, finger, thumb, finger. Okay, and as a beginner, I do remember I kind of kept my hand in the same place, and I would even go slow, right? And it was really hard even to get it to make a lot of sound because I was not pushing down very hard. Okay, but as I got better, I would learn how to push down a little harder and make it louder. Okay, so with our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, our first strumming pattern is just going to be down for an 8 count. Okay, I'll use my finger, but that doesn't mean you can't use your thumb if that's what you prefer right now. So, let's do it slowly. Okay, that's an 8 count. Let's do that again. Very good. Look at you. You're strumming a C chord. Now, let's go ahead and add to that already. And if you're not ready, that's okay. You can just keep going with the straight down, okay? But we're going to do down up next. Again, with a finger or a thumb. Okay, when I'm using my finger, I'm using my fingernail on the way down and the pad of my finger on the way up. But it's the opposite. If I'm using my thumb, I'm using my pad of my thumb on the way down and my fingernail on the way up. And you can hear a slight difference. Not too much. You're still getting the point. Okay, so let's do an 8 count of down up. Very good. Let's try that again. I'll slow it down for you. Awesome job. Okay, so as a beginner, those are the two ways I would recommend that you start out learning how to strum the ukulele. Just down for an 8 count. And then down up for an 8 count. And really you're exercising your finger on the string and your strumming finger on the strings. Right? It might be weird at first where you're not able to make it happen the way you want to. Just keep at it, and before you know it, you'll be doing just fine. Okay? And you'll be able to follow along. For those of you who are already following along, let's move on to an intermediate strumming pattern. This first one I call the island strum. It's down, down, up, down, up. And here's what it looks like. Okay, down, down, up, down, up. Okay, and if you do this one 2 times, it's the equivalent of 8 times just doing down or down, up. Okay, so here's what it looks like when it's in action. Pretty nice, huh? I'd say I play most of my songs with the island strum because it just seems to match and keep the music in the air while I'm singing a song. So just to keep that in mind for later. And a second strum pattern that we have on the intermediate is going to be with 2 strings together followed by a single string and a single string. So this is the G and the A, and I'm using my thumb and my ring finger. You might want to assign certain fingers to the strings. I'm using my middle finger for the E and my index finger for the C. And here's what it looks like. Together, and then one at a time. Okay, and you really want to make sure it's together. If you do one of them too soft, you might not hear the other one. So both together, then one and another one. Okay? So here's what it sounds like. Okay? And so if you do this one, if you do it 4 times, it would be the equivalent of the beginner strum going down or down up 8 times. Okay, so here we go. And again. Very nice. So we've got the island strum, down, down, up, down, up. And the first plucking strum. Okay, and you notice I said first plucking strum. That's right, we do have a second one, but we're going to call that the advanced one. Now, if you're feeling pretty good, we can go ahead and move on. If not, go ahead and stop here and make sure you're practicing both of these strumming patterns until you're feeling really comfortable being able to do it consistently. Okay, now moving on to the more advanced strumming patterns. We're going to use the island strum, but we're going to add a slap. It kind of makes a funky sound, and it's pretty interesting. I think you'll like it. So it's down, down, up, slap, up. And here's what it looks like. Okay, let's try that together, nice and slow. Down, down, up, slap, up. Got it? Down, down, slap, up. Alright, should we try it together? Let's go. That was fun, wasn't it? It sounds pretty cool too. Did you know you had a drum on your ukulele? It's kind of like a little drum beat when you slap it. Alright, I think we've got that one. And remember, we're still holding just the C, okay? And in a moment, we're going to get to a few more chords. But let's get this second plucking pattern. Okay, it's pretty much the same thing as before with just a small difference, making it a little bit more advanced. Okay, so we've got the G and the A together, same. We've got our thumb and our ring finger. Okay, and then we're going to use our middle finger for the E. But before we go to the C, we're going to go back to the G and A together. Okay, so 2 at a time, then 1, then 2, then 1. Going back and forth. Pretty cool. Alright, so we've got these two advanced ones. Down, down, up, slap, up, down, up. Okay. And then we've got the second plucking pattern. And there you have it. Again, go ahead and practice these until you're feeling really comfortable. And once you are feeling good with all 6 of these different strumming patterns, we can move on to some chords. Why don't we go ahead and do that now, and we'll practice all of our strumming patterns with each one of these chords. So your next one, the next chord is going to be an A minor. On the 2nd fret, on the top string, you all remember which string that one is? That's the G. And because it's on the 2nd fret, I recommend using your 2nd finger. And make sure it's pushing down straight so it doesn't touch the other strings, and that way you get a nice clean sound. Okay? So with that in place, let's go with our beginner strum. Just down 8 times. Good. And down, up. Nice. How about our intermediate? We got the island strum. And what was that other one? The first plucking pattern. That's right. We're going to go both strings, 1, 2, both strings, 1, 2. All right. Look at that. We're already on the advanced ones. Going with the, we'll call it the advanced island strum. That's one with the slap. So. And then we've got the back and forth plucking pattern. Sounds pretty cool, huh? Well, that was, what was that one called? An A minor, right? So the top string, 2nd fret. Now we're going to go with another chord, which is the F. And you don't even have to move your 2nd finger. You just need to add your 1st finger onto the 3rd string. That's the E string on the 1st fret. So 1st fret of the 3rd string, 2nd fret of the 1st string. Okay? And from here, that's an F. Okay, and make sure that you've got them pressed by themselves, and the way you do that is just hit each string individually. Okay, if they all ring through clear, you know you're good. If they don't, if you hear something like that, then you know you're maybe touching more than one string. So what you can do is just pinch the back of the neck with your thumb and make sure your fingers are going as much up and down as possible instead of laying on the other strings. Alright, so now with the F, let's go through each one of our strumming patterns again, shall we? Alright, 8 times down. Very nice. Down, up. Very good. Now the island strum. Alright, the first plucking pattern. Perfect. The advanced island with the slap. And the second plucking pattern. Wonderful. Alright, so we kind of went advanced with 2 fingers on the frets. We're going to go one step further with 3 fingers this time to do a G. You remember what this one was, right? This was the F. And now for a G, we're going to have our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the bottom string, which is the A. We're going to do our index finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, which is the C string. And then our ring finger is going to go on the 3rd fret of the E string. This creates a G. And just like before, you can make sure you've got it correct by going through each one of the strings. Adjust where needed. There we go. So let's go through each one of the strumming patterns. Down 8 times. Down, up. Island strum. And then the first plucking pattern. Okay, and now we've got the island strum with the slap. And the second plucking pattern. Wonderful. All right. Now, if you're feeling really good about these chords and these different strumming patterns, what you can do is go through each one of the chords with each one of the strumming patterns and just get yourself really familiar with strumming and changing chords. So let's go with the first pattern, which is just the down 8 times, and we'll switch through each one of the chords. Excellent. Let's use the down up now. Wow, you're doing great. Okay, let's go with the intermediate island strum. Cool. All right, the first plucking pattern, here we go. Awesome. And now how about the advanced island strum with the slap? Nice. And finally, the second plucking pattern. Wow, I am impressed. You did a great job. If you thought that was nice, come on back for another time and we'll learn how to play some songs together, or some additional chords and strumming patterns. Have a great day.